welcome back to my channel. This week I decided to do a reading vlog of my next few reads. I thought that this would be a good opportunity to pick up a pile of books that I have on my bookshelf that are waiting to be read. I just thought that this would be fun to take you guys along with me in the course of like a week or so. So I'm currently in my backyard. This is one of my favorite places to read books. I feel like it's very relaxing and it just gives me an opportunity to like get outside, enjoy the weather. First book that I have is Beach Read by Emily Henry. I've been meaning to read this book for quite a while. One of my goals was to actually read it on the beach because you can't just not read a book on the beach that's called Beach Read. I have 3 books planned. You guys will see the other books throughout the video that I chose to read. I thought that this would just be really fun to film, take you guys along with me, vlog a little bit.
Don't feel anxious, don't feel shame. If there's a question, it can't wait another day. Don't feel like it's all in vain. I try to remember, it ain't a race.
Hi guys, don't mind the music, there's live music. My plan today was to go to the beach and read. I wanted to go to Lake George, which is usually where I go, but it's like an hour away, and by the time I got there, I just wouldn't have enough time to be there. They close at 6, so I decided to go look up another beach like closer, and this is what I found. It's really small. I don't know how I feel about it, and there's like live music. My brain cannot function and read with live music. We'll see how this is. I'm here, I drove like a half an hour, might as well just check it out and see how it is. I got to page 70 in Beach Read. I have some thoughts. I wrote them down on my phone. So first of all, the beginning was just like kind of slow. Like it took me a while to really get into it. There's a lot of like in-depth details, driving places and whatever, like scenery. And for me, like I'm a very visual learner, so it's probably just like a me thing. First impression of the book is that Augustus and January, I guess they knew each other for a long time. January is now like 29 years old or 28, and she sees him again. They're basically like college rivals, but now they're like talking and like friends, I guess. They're both like writers, but I do like how they met and I like their humor. This book so far shows that like you can't truly judge someone until you get to know them fully, and there's definitely an attraction with both of them. I like that it's kind of like slowly getting into there. You can tell that they both like each other and they're interested, but nothing has happened yet. That's all I have for now. That's kind of my thoughts of the book so far. I'm gonna read more.
It's about happiness in the air. Take it slow, watch the road. Stop driving myself insane.
Okay, I have been here for like an hour. Thought this place closed at 7 because that's what it said online. They closed at 6, so paid like $5, but it's fine. I did read about 12 pages. I think I'm going to eat my snack, and honestly, like this parking lot is still open, so I'm just gonna read my book for a little bit and eat my snack. We just have some. This is now my favorite snack. It's some apples with peanut butter and chocolate chips, like the mini kind. This is my setup, if you want to show you. So here is my lunchbox, and then here is my little snacks. I'm on page 82, and I'm on chapter 9. It's called The Manuscript. Also, I don't know if this is like a spoiler, but I'm not telling you everything. So I got up to the part where Augustus and January like make a deal with each other. Now I'm just gonna be reading a little more of my book and eat my snack. Hi guys, I am outside again. It's kind of raining, or it's like gloomy outside. It is Tuesday. I'm a little behind what I planned to do, or for how this video I thought was gonna turn out. I am still reading Beach Read. I wanted to finish this book by yesterday so that I could start my new book today, but that just didn't happen. I did read like 100 pages yesterday. Now I am on page 214, chapter 9, or chapter 19. And I have about, I think there's like 350 pages or so left in this book, so I have quite some reading to do today. Enjoy me reading the rest of my book, hopefully by the end of today. Hi guys, it is Friday. I did not film anything Thursday or Wednesday. I finished Beach Read yesterday on Thursday and I did not like it at all. Unpopular opinion from what I've heard. I know that that book was like very popular for the summer, but I really did not like it at all. I rated it, well at first I rated it 3 stars on Goodreads and I rated it 2, and then today I changed it to 1. I did not understand it. It was really hard to get through. I wanted to skip through some of the parts because it was just very cringy and just like I didn't understand what was going on. I think there was just like no structure, like it was all over the place, and I don't think the characters really bonded fluently together. Like I don't know, I just didn't understand their relationship. It just didn't make sense. It wasn't good. I looked at the other reviews on Goodreads. Some of what these people were saying literally described what I was thinking. Like, I just couldn't get it out in words. It was definitely overhyped. She kept, or January, which is one of the main characters, she kept referring to Augustus as like his crooked smile and like evil, sexy something. And like, that was literally in like every chapter. I kid you not. Like, we get it. I don't even know what that means. Also, like January, she kind of freaked out about everything, like the littlest things she kind of just like overthink, and it was not necessary. I kind of found her annoying, and the reason why I just didn't film anything was because I was struggling to get through it and there was nothing to talk about. All they would talk about was just like not great views about that book, so I didn't really think it was worth it to do, and honestly it really kind of put me in a book slump. It took me a long time. Funny thing though, one of the other books that I want to read, like popular summer books for this video, was another Emily Henry book called Book Lovers, but honestly, judging by how Beach Read went, I don't even think, like if I started the book, I think I would just not even finish it. Like I don't know. Maybe I just need to find another Emily Henry book. Not my favorite. I don't understand why it was so hyped up. Some parts I will say were like interesting. I liked when I kind of got to know them, but also a lot of the book, like I felt like more than half of the book was just them talking about, they made a deal and they both were writing a book for the summer. I just didn't care about, like Augustus did interviews, he does like, I don't even know. I just didn't care about any of that. Like I was really lost with most of it. Anyway, to hopefully get me out of the book slump and books that I can read pretty fast. Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. I'm gonna start this book. All of like the Colleen Hoover books I've read, I've enjoyed them all, and they're pretty easy to read, fast-paced sort of thing. So I'm hoping that reading this book will get me out of the slump that Beach Read caused me. So don't know much about this book. I'm gonna start reading this book. Hopefully I can get it done by tomorrow or something, because this challenge is supposed to end by Sunday. So we'll see how this goes. Hopefully it's okay. I got my water. Wish me luck. Music is playing, but it's literally playing so loud and I can't concentrate. Whatever. I just finished the first chapter. 6 pages, and this is from Kenna's perspective. So now chapter 2 is Ledger. There's not really spoilers because it's pretty much like the first chapter pretty much explains what the back of the book says, the summary. But yeah, basically Kenna is back in a town, pleaded guilty for killing someone named Scotty. He's in an apartment, not a very great one, 500 square feet to be exact. He named Ruth runs these apartments. She gave her a kitten in exchange for free electricity for a month. Kenna doesn't have a job currently, but she's back in town where I guess the accident happened. She's back because she's trying to find her daughter named DM. I think that's how you say her name. Last sentence in the chapter says, "I chose the name DM because I knew as soon as I was released, I was going to make my way back here and do everything in my power to find her. Here I am." It's really good so far, guys. I know I'm capable of getting through things pretty quickly, especially like Colleen Hoover. I'm already very hooked onto this book, but the thing is that there's music playing and I can't do it. I don't want to go inside, but I guess I'll just suffer. We'll see how much I can get through. That's just like a little update. Loving it so far. Sometimes it's hard to keep track of who's who, so I circled names. I also put in my notes on my phone, little notes as to what I just read, so it can stay processed in my brain. Anyway, that's all. Let's continue to chapter 2. Guys, I forgot to tell you, or you probably noticed, but I filmed another video today, but I got a haircut. Got some layers and like a trim, so yeah, that's all I'm sharing. I'm on page 9 right now. Just found out that Ledger, he's a bartender, works at a bar, obviously. It seems like he has a close relationship with his parents, his mom and his dad. And I'm at the point where he like says that he sees a girl walk into the bar looking somewhat lost, so I'm assuming that's probably Kenna, and that's probably how they meet. It's pretty obvious, but that's all. Wednesday, September 14th. This challenge started in like August. I think August 21st. It was only supposed to go for a week, but clearly 3 weeks later that just didn't happen. So let me explain briefly as to why. The first book I read was Betrayed. Not like that book at all. That seriously put me in a huge reading slump. I just did not enjoy it, and I was honestly forcing myself to finish it and to read it for the sake of the video, and just because like it was a book that I was really looking forward to reading for quite a while, and also because like I spent money on it, so like come on. So that happened, and then I read Reminders of Him, and then like shortly after that I started Every Summer After. That was around the time that I went on vacation for about a week. I brought this book with me thinking that, oh yeah, I'm gonna read it like every night before I go to sleep. I'm gonna read it on the beach. That really didn't happen. I mean, I did read it a little bit on the beach, but I read like 2 or 3 pages there. And if you guys know, when you go on vacation, there's so many things you're doing like during the day. You do things up to the point of going to sleep, and that's what happened. We're out and about during the day, evening, food, obviously. And by the time like we got back to the hotel, I was just so tired that I literally fell asleep. So that's what happened there. Anything though, the only time I actually read this book was on our drive back from vacation, like coming home. I read about like 30 pages in the car. We're here today to finish this book. I'm on page 214. There's roughly like 300 pages. I'm gonna go to a coffee shop because I just need to get out of the house, and I think that will help me really finish this book. But before we do that, I want to talk about Reminders of Him. I love this book. I gave it a 4 4 stars out of 5 on Goodreads. If I could, I would have given it like 4.5. I don't think you can do like halves. Let's talk about this book and like what I liked about it in my opinion. So this book is about like a mother, like a young mother who is pretty much fighting to get custody of her daughter. She was in jail or in prison for like 5 years. She was pregnant while she was in prison, and yeah, then she got released. This is like a dual point of view, so you get Kenna, which is her name, Kenna, and Ledger's point of view. Every other chapter you find out how Ledger is like related, or how Ledger kind of fits into the story. Obviously there's like romance involved. I liked that it like showed how people grieve differently and people's different perspectives of things. I felt like this was well executed, and when I was getting to the end, I couldn't stop reading because I wanted to know like if Kenna would be able to see her daughter again. And like the whole time you're really rooting for her. I also like at first you didn't like Ledger, but then you grow to like him. And also in the story there was Kenna like writes these letters written out to Scotty as if like, I don't know, probably like a coping mechanism for her. And I did like getting to know Scotty and Kenna's relationship in the past because she describes their relationship. But also at some points it would be like a whole chapter of just the letters that she writes to him, and I kind of wanted to skip through them, but I didn't, just because I was more intrigued about Kenna and Ledger's story. Like I wanted to know more about them and their relationship. This book is also about forgiveness and definitely shows how people grieve differently. The only criticism I will say is that I felt like the ending, I felt like it was kind of rushed, and I kind of felt like it was not realistic. You kind of could see it coming, like with Scotty's parents and like their opinions for the situation. But if you've read this book, you know what I'm talking about. I didn't really like that they didn't give Kenna a chance to like explain her side of the story. Like there's always 2 sides to every story, and then there's the truth, and like they really didn't even let her, they even like talk to her about anything. But I can also see like their reasonings. So yeah, I didn't like that Scotty's family was just not open to hearing what Kenna had to say. And I also kind of felt bad for Ledger. Like he was in the middle of it all. There would be consequences for both the ways, being on Kenna's side or Scotty's parents' side. There was just like no good equal boundary for him. Like he was just like put in the middle of everything, which put just like a lot of stress on him and like his relationships with people. That's my opinion on this book. Again, I loved it. I have Every Summer After now. I'm on page 214. There's about 300 pages left. I'm gonna go to a coffee shop. Usually I would go to coffee shops like in the morning and get breakfast and stuff, but it's dinner time right now. It's about 6 o'clock, and I feel like getting out of the house is really good for me, and this will encourage me to like really finish this book and have a cute little coffee. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing. Take you guys along with me. If you guys are interested, just keep on watching. And I'm gonna go to the coffee shop now. Just finished Every Summer After. Solid 4.5 out of 5 stars. I just rated it on Goodreads 4 stars. I am still trying to process it because I literally just finished it, but lots happened. For one, I will say that this was one of my more favorite books that I've read. A few things I will say. I love childhood lovers or childhood friends to lovers books. I like when they like the then and now kind of type of books where they talk about like the past and their friendship when they were children, and then they, you know, people meet up again when they're older or adults and stuff. But it's pretty much the basis of this book. It kept going from when they were kids every year. So for example, it'd be like summer 17 years ago, and then the next chapter would be now, like when they're grown up, and then the chapter after that would be summer 16 years ago, kind of like that. I have noticed like with this book and other books too that I find myself kind of like going back and forth on liking or like being more interested and more intrigued on like the now kind of storyline, like where their life is now and meeting back up and rekindling their relationships and stuff. But I did really like to get to know Percy and Sam, like when they were kids. It just like ties everything together. But I definitely think that I thought it was more interesting as to what their life has become as adults and them meeting up again. Love Sam and Charlie's mom. She's literally the best mother ever. Only criticism, and the reason why I rated it 4 stars instead of 5, is just because, I don't know, I feel like this, like, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like, as you guys saw, I read Beach Read. I did not like that book at all, and a big reason for that is just there was like a line where the author would keep saying like something about the guy's like crooked smile, and in this book, like, I don't know, I feel like she like read Beach Read or something and just kept using that same phrase, but her phrase would be again like crooked smile or crooked grin, like literally keep repeating that, and I hate that. And I think that's just kind of what did it for me. Like, it gave me just flashbacks as to Beach Read. I mean, I even wrote in this book, I underlined all the times where she said that, and it was just like, I felt like it was kind of like overdone. Also, like, she kind of kept repeating things, like talking about like Sam and Charlie's like tanned golden skin and stuff, and it's like, you don't need to put that in every chapter when you talk about them. But other than that, I definitely think that this was a pretty realistic story. This really shows like a lot of heartbreak and how much it takes to really rekindle your friendship relationship with somebody, especially after something so big happened. Okay, so like, I'm not gonna give any spoilers, but throughout the book I was just thinking about like Sam mentioned that Percy broke his heart. So I was like trying to think of what it was. Throughout the book I was just like, no way, they wouldn't do that. And then I was reading further and I was like, oh my god, maybe they did. And then I read the part and yep, it happens. Not that shocked. I felt like it was kind of predictable, but all in all, love this book. Definitely would recommend Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. I think that's all my thoughts. Again, still processing it. This was like a lot. Oh, I will mention, I am a diehard fan of Colleen Hoover. As you know, I've literally read like most of her books, and most of her books are from a dual point of view. This book was not. This was only from Percy's point of view, which I kind of liked. Like, that was like a nice change up, but I feel like it would have been cool to know like Sam's point of view and stuff. But yeah, I'm also still trying to wrap my head around how they kind of moved on after what happened. It's a very sticky situation as to what happened, and I think it would definitely take a lot out of someone to forgive someone else for what they did. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you read any of these books, let me know, like I always say. And if you have any book suggestions that I should read, or for anybody else that likes to read, definitely leave them in the comments below so that we can see. And if you guys read this book, let me know your opinions, your thoughts. Maybe they are different than mine, or you agree on some of the things that I said. That's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you guys in my next video.